Hi, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. My last tutorial number 80, I was showing you how to create this beautiful landscape card with a watercolor technique. Today I am going to show you what we are going to use color cardstock to create this beautiful sunset 3D card. Same combo set, same easel die, different technique. It looks totally different. I would love to see what you do with the same stamp and the easel die. So let's start it. So we're going to use the Wild Safari combo set, and we are add a little bit background. So we're going to use our silence background stamps, and we are going to use our easel die. And please check our website for special promotion. We are offer a great deal for this tutorial. Get the easel die cut and get this combo set for free. You save $24.99 plus $5 shipping fee. So this is our special promotion. It should start from yesterday and until July 20, and make sure you check it out. Here's the material list. We are going to need the liquid glue, and I'm going to explain why we are not going to use double-sided tape. We are going to use 1 1/4 circle punch to create the sun, and VersaFine nice black impact. We are going to have some makeup sponge, and we're going to have I'm going to use these 2 impact. You don't have to have exactly the same impact, but I love the Zucchinico product. Their product quality is very good, and this kind of impact, it comes with 5 different colors. And if you check my website, I have a lot of other tutorials to show you how to use this multicolor impact. So this one, the first one is called the Desert Heat. 1 impact comes with 5 colors, and we are going to use a Cappuccino Delight. Same thing. 1 impact comes with 5 different colors. You don't have to use exactly the same impact that I use. I use sometimes I use Marby's impact. I use Tin Ho's Distract impact. Any dye-based impact will work just fine. This Marby impact has been discontinued, so it's a little bit hard to find it. That's why I'm slowly it's my favorite, but I'm slowly switching to the Memento or Distract. But so far, those impact is awesome. If you see some at the craft show, get some. The price is pretty good. I think it's $11.99. Okay, so the first we are going to create the foundation card. Because this card is kind of 3D, we really need the good quality thick cardstock. If you use a very soft regular cardstock, when you fold it, they are going to wiggly. They will not sit nice on the table. And then we are going to use a yellow color. This is just cheap cardstock that I buy from Michael's. Most of the time they are only like a 65 pounds. It's hard to find the color cardstock that over 100 pounds. So what we're going to do is very, very easy. We are going to create our own thick cardstock. So this is only 65. So what we're going to do is we are going to folding in half. Okay, so fold it first. Okay, like these. Okay, and then we are going to use this liquid glue. So this is the tumble. Okay, it's pretty good. So they come with both tip. One side is like a brush, one side is fine. And then when you apply the glue, you just they have like little brush. It's very easy to apply it on the surface, and then make sure we cover the whole half page of your letter size. Okay, not too much, because if you put too much, the paper will wrinkle. So, and then just you got to make sure that you apply your glue everywhere. And we are going to just fold in half. And now we create 130 pounds cardstock. So why is the reason I asked you to use glue instead of a double-sided tape? I'm going to show you. This is what happens. If you use double-sided tape, if you just miss some part, and when you folding together, they are not stick nicely. So if you use glue and just wait until they are completely dry, so that way you create nice 130 pounds cardstock. Make sense? Okay, and then we're going to put our easel die cut and we're going to run through the die cut machine. Please make sure you watch tutorial 80, number 80, because on the number 80, there's some nice great tips that I would like to show you. So in this tutorial, I'm not going to repeat it. So after you die cut it, this is what's going to look like. In the same as the number 80 tutorial, we're going to working on our foundation cardstock. So don't try to folding them yet because it's easier to working on the flat surface. Okay, so to be able to make this card, we are going to make a both. We are going to working on the both side. We are going to working on the front, and we are also going to working on the back. So the front is more cappuccino color, and the back is more orange and red color. Okay, so when I create this card, I found out the foundation color yellow, it worked better than the white. It show better. If you don't believe me, you can try to use the white cardstock, but the color is not going to be as bright as on the yellow. So the yellow kind of give you like the basic color, and then when you apply the brown and the orange on top, the coverage is just showing better than you're working on the white. So the first, we are going to use this Cappuccino Delight color. I like this impact because if you take a look at the back of this impact, they can be refilled. There is the numbers here. There's 60, 61, 62, 63, and 52. So if you use this impact a lot like me, and then you can buy the refill and then you can refill them. So before we start to coloring, you're going to make sure that you have a few makeup sponge. Those makeup sponges just from the dollar store is nothing fancy. Okay, so we are going to working on our the base first, the base part first. Okay, so we are going to use makeup sponge, and here is the important tip. You are going to brush your makeup sponge on top of your impact. Okay, that's what it looks like. And then you're going to rub on top of your yellow cardstock. It's very important when you start to rubbing your color, you're going to start from your scrap paper. Don't start on top of your yellow cardstock because it's going to show the starting line. So we're going to just apply from your scrap paper in one direction only. So I start with a light color and then kind of just drawing few stroke. Okay, you can push a little bit harder and then you can release a little bit pressure. Okay, so just start from the lighter color first. Okay, like this. And then you can rotate it. Okay, make it horizontal and then pick a little bit darker color, the second color I'm using, and then from the other direction. Okay, one direction. And then make sure that you're starting on your scrap paper, not on your color cardstock, because it's going to show a very, very ugly star line. Okay, so let's do this. And then we are going to, you can use one makeup sponge from the light color to the dark color, as long as you start from the light to the dark. Okay, and then we're going to add a little bit the third color, the darker color. One direction is very important, one direction. And then what you can do is you rotate it one direction and be gentle, okay? And then don't fold your card. Okay, so that's looks pretty good already, right? So I'm going to use a little bit darker color, just make my the bottom of this card even darker. Okay, that looks pretty nice already, right? Okay, now I am going to change the impact. Okay, so before we start to coloring with the desert heat impact, so this is what you're going to do. You are going to flip your your easel die card, and I use my 1 1/4 circle punch. I punch a masking tape. So if you can't find this masking tape anymore, you can use a post-it notes, you can just cut that sticky part on top, or you can just cut a piece like a computer thin paper, and then you can use these adhesive. This is removable, so after you put on top, you can remove it. It's like you create your own sticker. Okay, so we're going to put the moon. You can put whatever, a little bit high, a little bit low. So this moon is kind of low. I think I like that place, so I'm going to just put there. Okay, so make sure you burnish nicely. Okay, and now we're going to use a brand new makeup sponge. So we are going to start the lighter color. So I'm going to pick up some very, very light color. And this is something you have to know. This time we are not going to just draw the line. We are kind of like a circle around the moon. Kind of like a coloring, like a swirling. Okay, you can working on the both directions. So I start with the light color and then kind of just like a circling. Okay, and the bigger, when it's bigger, we just add the darker color. Always start from light to the dark, and then just drawing a circle. Add a little bit darker color, like drawing the circle. Okay, and then you can working on your car, you can rotate it. Okay, try to draw in a circle, and it's easier to rotate your car, so that way you get nice curve. And we're going to do even a little bit more red. Okay, I prefer use die cut impact because they dry faster. Faster than pigment. Okay, so now my makeup sponge is pretty red, right? I like to add a little bit lighter color. Time to change a new sponge. You can use the sponge lighter color to a darker color, but once when your sponge is dark color, don't try to go deep in the lighter color, because no matter how much color you deep, it's not going to turn to the light color. So when I use this lighter color, basically I kind of just blending this foundation color. Try to hide the stroke a little bit, but sometimes the stroke just looks nice, you know, it doesn't matter, it looks nice no matter what you do. Okay, so that's what's look like, and I am going to go back to my cappuccino color, and I'm going to add a little bit darker color on top. Okay, so I'm going to use my darker color. I'm going to pick up some color and then drawing a horizontal line. Try to just framing. Okay, so when you want to do the horizontal line, remember start from your scrap paper. Okay. And here's the other great tip. When you want to deepen your impact, try to brush it. You brush it, you pick up a better color. If you deepen it, when you push your finger, you only like pick up your finger point. So brush it, your makeup sponge, you pick up better color. So start with a lighter color. If not enough, we add more. And then you, like I say, you can rotate it, your car, add the light and add the darker color. It's exactly like any kind of artwork is like that. You start with a lighter color. If it's not enough, we add more. Don't try to make it too dark, because once when it becomes too dark, we cannot change back. Okay, so that's what's look like for the background color. I think that's pretty good already, but I want to make it here a little bit darker. So now I am going to just grab a piece of scrap paper and I'm going to insert here, because I want to keep this column here light color. Only the center part here is dark. Okay, so I'm going to just put here, and I'm going to grab one of my sponge. I'm going to use the middle color and then kind of circle around the edge of the insert part. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to add our silence background, but before you stamping your background stamp, we are going to remove the moon. If you don't remove that masking, and then when you stamping on your tree, the tree is going to, there's some parts missing. So make sure you remove your masking tape here, and then these what I do is I just put on top of my impact, and I can use it again and again. And then this moon, what I can do is I can grab a piece of scrap paper. Okay, and I use a light color makeup sponge, kind of created some clouds, soft the moon a little bit. Oh, it's sun or moon, huh? Never mind. Okay, so something like that. Or what we can do is we can even create add a little bit more, just like the first tutorial. So I'm going to use a third color. Remember, brush your impact, and then we kind of just give a little bit like a gentle brush, something like that. Even like on the bottom part. Okay. And then now we are ready to do our silence background. So I'm going to use a VersaFine because the VersaFine, first of all, they are oil-based impact. They dry fast, and then they are really good quality. The coverage is better than the StazOn. So remember from my other tutorial, I always tell you, try to rub your stamp and gently tap. That way the ink much better. And we are going to only use part of our silence. We don't have to use all, but just be careful. We are going to check the moon is oops. So the moon is this side. We want to stamp this side. So I am going to just probably 2/3, a little bit high. 2/3, and I'm going to just rub with my finger, and be careful, you got to get it right, okay? And once when you put your cardstock on top of your stamp image, you cannot move anymore. If you move it, you won't be able to get a nice print image. So just give a little bit massage in the back, okay? And then that's our background stamp. And keep your finger clean, okay? Okay. Clean by finger clean. Okay, so now we are going to do something else. It's almost there. We are going to do something else. We are going to use this is I think this is I think it's a Martha Stewart's border punch. I don't know why they keep continue all the good product. They used to have a lot of a nice border punch, but you can't find it anymore. So what I do is I am going to create a little bit grass on the bottom of this card, and we are going to make a template here. But if you don't have this grass punch, no big deal, we make one. So what I do is I just use a piece of scrap paper, and I just use a pair of scissors, and you can create your own grass. Okay, I think that's pretty nice already, and I want to show you it really works. So I'm going to use the one I create to show you what's the grass look like. So I'm going to do a little bit so that way you can see better. Always keep your working station clean. Next time I should show you my studio. Only this part is clean. The rest of them is covered with all the tools. I'm sure your table looks pretty much like mine. Okay, so we're going to use a VersaFine as my dark color, or you can use that Cappuccino Delight dark brown color, and we're going to use a makeup sponge again. So here's the makeup sponge. Pick up some darker color, and we kind of just apply a little bit color. See? I just made my grass here, and then change the spot a little bit. I like my grass. Move it around a little bit. Okay, so if you have it, good, you don't have it, no big deal. Always try to figure out how you can solve the problem. That's the best part I love about the rubber stamping, because you can create whatever you like, right? And we're going to do again. So I use a dark black color, or you can use a darker brown. And this is how I create my gently rub. Okay, one direction only. And let's do a little bit here. Gently rub. Okay. See? This is my front, this is my back, and now we're going to put them together. So you are going to follow the dotting line, and then it's really easy. Once when you get it, you get it. And then make sure your finger is clean. And we're going to make do this, and it's actually very thick cardstock, because now it's 130 pounds. Okay, only folding the dotting line. Okay, dotting line. Okay, folding the dotting line here, and then we just do like this. If you can't see from the back, you can see better dotting line. So if you need some guiding, just turn this one back, and then it's nice, very thick. They will sit on the table just like that. And we are going to put the old elephant on top, put a little bit double side tape on the bottom. They can actually really sit nicely on top. And our easel die does come with happy birthday and thank you. This one, if you watch my other tutorial, I teach you how to use this happy birthday and make a birthday banner. It's actually very unique. And when you tape on top, a little bit extra piece here, just trimming it. See, the same stamp set, different kind of techniques, totally different kind of looking. Let me know which one you like the best.